Here on the main channel, you get COD history, you get nostalgia, you get put in your feels when it comes to Call of Duty. The Chaos Top 10, the COD history, the ranking, everything series, and it's not going to change. But now I'm going to take a much requested feature from a lot of you in the COD community, and I'm going to act upon it. At the top of the description is the new Chaos Call of Duty channel. It will be specifically for Call of Duty news, updates, rumors, everything from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, yes, COD Mobile, everything that's going on in the community. The main channel will continue to drive the nostalgia with COD history. The Call of Duty channel will be for your daily updates and your patch notes and your leaks and your rumors and everything that has to do with Call of Duty in present time and future. So I hope to see you guys over there. Subscribe. There will be a video up today. And now, let's rank some M4s. The M4 is probably the most reoccurring assault rifle in Call of Duty history. Ever since it debuted in COD 4, it's been a fan favorite, for multiple reasons. Above average fire rate, pretty easy recoil pattern. It's just an easy gun to use. It's a simple weapon on paper, but the versatility has made it a popular choice in every single game featured. And today, we're going to do another tough one. Welcome to the page, everybody. Chaos here. Today, we're going to rank every M4 in COD history, from the absolute worst to the best. This isn't going to be easy. And for this list, all versions of the M4 will be eligible. So prototypes like the XM4 and the Commando will be in today's list. So you guys let me know which M4 you think was the absolute best. Drop a like and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's get started. Worst. The bottom. The bottom of the barrel, and this isn't easy to do because it's not technically bad. The M4A1 in Modern Warfare 3. Sometimes picking the best is easy. Other times picking the worst is not as easy. The Modern Warfare 3 version, it was a huge downgrade from everything that came before it, but it still holds the title of the worst version in COD history for me. It was your starting assault rifle, just like the previous game, but it experienced a huge damage nerf going from Modern Warfare 2 to 3. Stopping power was removed, and the M4's range was reduced. It made it a 4 to 5 shot kill in most engagements. Now, the fire rate was above average, so that helped out a little bit, but overall, the time to kill was noticeably longer than any other assault rifle in the game, and there wasn't much use for it once you unlocked it. It did feel good, though, don't get me wrong. It had a little fan club, and I was part of it because of the smooth handling, but overall, it wasn't the most popular gun in Modern Warfare 3. You rarely saw it online by people who were probably above level 10. Before we move on, guys, if you get anything from G2A, use code CHAOS, get yourself some cash back. The link is at the top of the description. At number 7, the M4A1 in Modern Warfare 2, the original. People often say everything in Modern Warfare 2 is overpowered, and I agree with that. They're right. This is about the point in the video where the weapons get good, so despite the Modern Warfare 2 version being all the way down at number 7, it was still upper tier. It fired at 857 rounds per minute, didn't have very much recoil, and the damage, it was on the modest side. It killed with 4 to 5 shots with no stopping power, but when you threw on SP and stuck to mid and long range, it could basically treat it like an ACR. No, it didn't kill as quickly, and it wasn't quite as laser-like, but the M4's time to kill was decent, and the recoil was super easy to control. As far as the starter weapon goes, I think this was pretty solid back in the classic Modern Warfare 2 age, and moving forward, the rest of these rankings are going to be very, very difficult. At number 6 today, remember, we're going worst to best. The M4 Carbine in COD 4. That's where it all started for the M4. This version of it was actually almost identical to the Modern Warfare 2 version, but there was a few key things that made it noticeably better. Lack of customizable kill streaks in the game and fancy attachments didn't matter. It stood out. The versatility was great. The fast fire rate made it competitive up close. If you were using stopping power, the recoil was easy to control. Your long-range TT key was very respectable. TTK, not TT key. COD 4 was much more about the player versus the player gunfights, while Modern Warfare 2 was more about big booms and explosions and kill streaks. In a more stripped-down game like COD 4, it was an excellent choice. It gave you a very competitive TTK up close, and it ranged for all that slight movement penalty. It was a good gun. It also kicked off the trend of the M4 being an extremely versatile weapon in Call of Duty. At number 5, one of my favorites, the Commando in Black Ops. Now, putting it at number 5, I think it may be my favorite to use out of all of these. It was a prototype M4 rifle unlocked at level 44 in the original Black Ops, and it quickly became a fan favorite for lots of reasons. The fire rate, the damage profile, it had a very competitive time to kill, the low recoil. It was solid at close range and long range. At max range, it only needed 4 bullets to connect in order to get somebody. And up close, you only needed 3. It also came with some super clean iron sights and some awesome sound effects, especially when you had a suppressor attached to it. Now, the stats weren't amazing, but the handling was great. That's what drew a lot of people to it, despite it not having the crazy damage profile of the FAMAS or AUG. The Commando was just a ton of fun to use, and the damage was consistent. You never felt like the gun was holding you back in any way, and if you're a fan of laser beams, this was probably your go-to gun in Black Ops. Now, was it as good as the Galil? Not quite, but it was still a great weapon. At number 4, the MV4 in Infinite Warfare. One of the most heavily spammed guns in COD history. It's a very strange case. It highlighted a pretty major issue with the franchise during the jetpack era. It was a futuristic version of the M4 rifle, even referred to as the M4 in the game files, and it suggested Infinity Ward was actually going to call it the M4 until later in development. Now, the MV4 was a pretty solid weapon overall. It wasn't the best gun for super aggressive play, and its time to kill was only slightly above average, but what made it the most spammed weapon was the fact that it had zero recoil, pretty solid time to kill, and it was easy to use. Infinite Warfare had a lot of insane movement mechanics, and the map design seemed to favor aggressive play much more than Black Ops 3 did, which that kind of made the game pretty oppressive to players who didn't want to use jetpacks. The first couple jetpack games, you could be enjoyed by boots-on-the-ground players to a decent amount of time, right? But Infinite Warfare, they went further than any jetpack game, making it far less accessible to a lot of the player base. But why does that matter? Because if you were someone who really didn't like to get good at the movement or figure out how to jump and shoot at the same time, the MV4 was your best friend. The sheer ease of use from it was it was just popular. Everybody used it all the way from beginning to end. On top of it, it had a solid time to kill. It was popular with experienced players as well as your newbies. It was a very powerful weapon, and the insane popularity made it one of the most hated rifles in COD history. Now, when compared to other M4 type rifles, I think 4 is a fair spot. At number 3 today, the M4 in Modern Warfare 2 2022. You've probably seen a lot of this in the first few weeks of the game. Actually, Modern Warfare's been out for over a month now, which is crazy. It went by really fast. Anyway, it's remained as one of the top assault rifles in the game for all the usual reasons. Fast, easy to control, good up close, insane list of attachments available to make it even better than it was by default. When Modern Warfare 2 first dropped, a lot of people put the M4 in their top 5. And if I went out and pulled a bunch of Modern Warfare 2 players today, I think it would be there. It's not quite as flashy or as cool as it used to be due to the overexposure of the 2022 or 2019 version, but this one's good. More updates come out, the lower down the Modern Warfare 2 tier list, the M4 seems to move, but as of the recording of this video, it's pretty good. At number 2, the XM4 in Black Ops Cold War. After a year of M4 and MP5 spam in 2019, a good portion of the COD community was eager to use some new weapons. Ironically, when Black Ops Cold War came out, the two most popular weapons were the XM4 and the MP5, so the community did not get their wish. This is a prototype version of the iconic M4 rifle, and it heavily resembles the Black Ops 1 Commando, but it had a lot of buffs. It kept the relatively low fire rate from Black Ops 1, but it gave it a hefty damage in return for some super smooth handling and recoil. The gun was really powerful on its own. Served as a great weapon for people who wanted to play aggressively but still stick to mid-range. The versatility, some of the best in COD history for an M4 type rifle, and despite a number of patches, it never really left the top tier of Cold War's weapon selection. The Warzone version, extremely up and down, but it was also a fan favorite for a while. I mean, just the gun. I think 2's a fair spot, but there's one that was better. The best one ever, no shocker, the M4 Modern Warfare 2019. Had a ton of great versions throughout the years, but none of them were quite as dominant or game-breaking as the 2019 iteration. Unlike other M4s from COD history, this one actually wasn't a starting weapon in Modern Warfare, but since you only had to grind to level 6 in order to get your hands on it, it might as well have been unlocked by default. This version fired at 800 rounds per minute. It could be cranked up to 940 with certain ammo conversions. It could hit for 28 base damage, making it a 4-shot kill by default, but then you could add on a 60% headshot bonus, and you've got one of the most deadly guns in the game. The insane damage buffs made it a weapon that heavily favored skilled players and good aim, which obviously made it one of the most popular guns in the game for aggressive play. But on top of all that and being a great gun for aggression, the wide variety of attachments made it one of the best long-range weapons in the game as well, possibly even better than the LMGs for constant long-range pressure. Now, there was some crazy attachments, like the 10-round Soakum mag that made it kick like a mule, but it was an insta-kill. It was versatile. It was insane. Every situation. I mean, I think the XM4 really came close, but looking back at Modern Warfare and Cold War, this one sticks out just a little bit. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Let me know what you want to see next on the ranking list, and I'll see you soon.